Um, I know you did a master class with the Schmidt competition. How'd that go?
It was great. It was great. I mean, look, this is always my spiel when doing master classes. We've all done them. We all know that, there's nothing worse than sort of trying to actually be vulnerable and do work in front of people when all we want to do is that kind of thing away from people watching. So,
Right.
holy props to all of y'all for being part of this. I thank you, and I promise you I'm like super cheerleader mom, so don't feel like you're under scrutiny.
Just, as much as possible. No, I'm kidding. Christine and I have known each other for years and years and years, and I so thank you and love that you're going to join us. Our first singer today is Miss Sarah Kane. She's going to wave. There's Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
And Christine, can you see the program in
I
the,
can.
I put it in the chat. Great.
Mhm.
So Sarah, you can unmask
Okay.
and we might play a little bit just at the beginning with balance if something's off, but I think we should be good to go.
We'll be good to go
Okay.
the second I find the file that I just had open. Here it is. Oh boy.
Story of my life, right? Wonderful. Sarah, you can put the headset down and you can
Okay.
start whenever you'd like, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Because she can hear you. It's just in the feed. Well, never mind. We'll tell her when she comes back.
Soccorri, soccorri, resistate, soccorri, c'è il mio figlio fa che regni, voi non mi secondate, soccorri, 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 c'è, soccorri, resistate, il mio figlio fa che regni, voi non mi secondate, il secondate, secondate. Quel coprai soggetto a gran periglio, creduto Clodio estinto, Narciso e Pallante, fidai troppo me stessa. Ottania merto e da Poppea coraggio, se scoperto l'inganno di Ripaldo traggio.
Scoot back. Okay.
Oh my gosh, lady, did you write those ornaments?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, but
Yes. With some help from my fabulous collaborative pianist as well.
Okay, also,
helped me.
so bravo to the orchestra because fierce. Also, those ornaments, primo. Love them. Love them.
Thank you.
They're so, so good. And here's what I absolutely love right off the bat. You are in this character. You're like in it. You're in it to win it. You are using every color in the palette of your instrument to show every emotion that you want in this piece.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seriously, that is what this is about. And you both have put together ornaments, which are what ornaments are supposed to do, that showcase your instrument, right? I mean, that's why there are ornaments, to show off. Because yay, fine. Bravo to you. So here's what I want to say. You are using the text super beautifully. I feel like sometimes your intention to use the text, sometimes you forget to stay on your voice.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, but I mean, look, hello. Also me, also everybody. Because when we get involved in the drama, sometimes we throw it away, right?
Yes.
Try really, really hard because the core of your sound is so rich and so gorgeous. When you fall off of it, it's almost more noticeable.
Okay.
Does that make
Yes,
sense?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Don't, ma'am. Come on. We're colleagues.
Sorry,
I'm so old.
I'm
I know you're very
from the South. So
oh, sweetheart, I get
can't
it.
help
I get it. But I'm from the South Shore of Long Island, so you could just call me Christine. It's fine. So, so right off the bat, from the pensieri, the thing is, you started in a place, the very beginning of it. This is a place that you want to start quietly and grow into, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Make sure you're on the core of your sound, even if you're starting in a small place.
Correct. Yes.
So, can we just start at the very beginning of that? Cool. I'm so sorry we can all hear each other, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Just double checking. Okay, so here's the thing. As you grow into that, somehow or another, now also voice teachers who are around and everyone that I'm working with, if I say something that steps on your voice teacher's toes or I say something in a way that doesn't make sense, please tell me. You won't offend me. I will rephrase. So when you start to make that crescendo, suddenly you start to make more space around it. And the richness grows and the spin grows.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you start in the place that you are getting to about halfway through that crescendo? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. Yes, ma'am.
Night and day.
Thank you. Okay,
I know
yeah,
that
it
seems
felt
like
better.
a silly little thing, but
No, it felt so much better. It felt so
good,
much better.
good. And the thing is, if you start there for the next one, then the voy is in exactly the same place and you don't have to move to it.
Perfect. I like
And that's a
that.
thing, right?
Yeah,
Or we
I
could
like
just make
that.
more work for ourselves. Also up choice. So this whole next phrase on all of these ahs, I want to compliment you. You did not move your ah vowel around. That is hard. I know, it's beastie. 150 years ago, I sang Agrippina. When I saw this, I thought, oh, better you than me. So all of these ah vowels are really a thing. And you are really using beautifully your dynamics as you are moving in and out of these things. And you are very hyper aware of when there are dissonances and when there are not dissonances. You lean into them very beautifully. I would love you to give me something more on all of the sustained notes, even if it's small, so that you're driving the bus forward. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Could we start from that second pensieri boy? Brava. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
There are so many more moving bits through this, so I'd like to continue. But I want to throw out there, you are so attached to this and it is so cool. Don't be afraid not to sing exact eighth notes as you go.
Okay, I can do that.
I
That's
know
a
you
big
can.
thing for me. That's a big
I'm
thing
giving you
for me.
permission to do it.
Ah, okay.
So if we were to, I'm totally lying. Can we just do that phrase one more time? I'm a liar. It's how I work. Fantastic. You can go even further with that, but that is definitely the direction.
Okay, okay.
If you think about, and you clearly are already, anytime I do anything that can be ornamented, and I know this is going to be a bit of a strange sort of comparison, I always think of Handel like jazz. Right? I mean, everything has movement within it as long as you check yourself whenever the harmonies change.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's how we go. Cool. So let us move forward. I don't know how many minutes do I have. Is someone going to warn me about that?
You've got like 11.
Tthank you. Perfect.
Yep.
Because I'll talk for an hour and a half. It'll be great. All right. If we can just go ahead and go forward, and the same thing through all of these. Tell me, this is sort of a tricky thing every time we have a handle aria because we say one sentence 75 times, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we do that. And clearly she's very tormentate right now.
Very.
And who wouldn't be in this particular moment?
Right.
So does everybody know sort of what's happening here, by the way? Any Agrippina fans? Sarah does. Sarah, you want to fill us in just really quickly?
Yes. So basically, the premise that where we begin our story is I have gotten word that my husband has, his ship has been capsized at sea. And so because of that, I am very concerned about who is going to take the new throne as emperor. And I would like for it to be my son, Nerone, from another marriage, because that would be quite a benefit to me. So because of this information that I am privy to, I have decided to go ahead and set that ball rolling, only to find out that Claudio did not die. He's very much alive and was saved by his general, Ottone, and they come back after I have started weaving a very tangled web, convincing Palante and Narciso, two of Claudio's right-hand men, essentially. I've convinced them to, do my bidding and help bring this to fruition, and I literally seat my son on the throne only to have him walk right back down because Claudio comes in, and when all of that transpires, in a way to cover my own tush, for lack of a better phrase, I have convinced Poppaea that Ottone is bad, bad, bad. And so I'm like, he's a traitor, he has betrayed you, he's gonna take the throne and he's gonna give you to Claudio, he does not love you. And so, because of that, Ottone, word gets through the grapevine to Claudio, and so he outwardly declares him a traitor in front of the entire court and says that for treason, the penalty is death. So, pretty much, I feel like that's a moment where not only is she saying how upset Ottone is and how he is going to do everything within his power to prove that he's innocent, to win the heart of Poppaea and his emperor back. I am sort of thinking, oh my gosh, if I get caught, they're going to kill me too. He's going to kill me. And if Claudio doesn't kill me, Ottone may kill me first. So it's one of those things where I've kind of shot myself in the foot. I spoke too soon, and so she kind of is going through these phases of actual true guilt. She's probably never really experienced a lot of guilt in her life because most things tend to just work out in her favor. And this one really did not. So she is very, very tormentate.
Okay, first of all, 7,000 points to Gryffindor for that unbelievable synopsis.
Sorry. There's a
No,
lot
it
of
was
details,
awesome.
though.
No, it's awesome. Look, not everybody knows Agrippina. It's not exactly Bohème, but it is spectacular. So if you don't know it, you should see it. So yes, she's definitely having some pensieri tormentate because of these. So the thing is, you say that she's experiencing guilt for the first time in her life. I'm totally on board with this. Is every time she says this about the same thing?
No, I don't feel like it is.
Cool.
I think
so.
it's
How
a
do we show
myriad of
that?
things.
How do we show it? What do we
Different
do?
choices, different colors, different dynamics, maybe even different articulation and phrasing choices, and or all of the above.
I'm here for every single one of those. So let's say, par exemple, we get to the second bit of this, where we've got the next long stretch of this. Mi tormenta. When we get into there, what are we doing here? In the beginning of it, are we feeling guilt?
I don't think so.
Panic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now where are we?
So she's panicked and she's saying this is terrible. So then she calls to the heavens and says, hi. She's praying.
No, but I mean, I'm sorry. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
the second part. I mean, just the second phrase. Because the second time she says, mi tormentate, pensieri tormentate, so much tormentate. By the
Right.
time we get to the second tormentate, how are we going to show what's next?
I would say
Show me is
taking
what you're
those-
going to show me.
I'm going to show you. Watch. Here we go. What's gonna happen?
So we're someplace around 32 or 33.
Perfect. Thanks.
Cool. So this is totally differently articulated. Brava, very clear. Take a look, and especially when there's not much in the orchestra for you to go on, it's not so easy to figure out what to do. However, there are some phrasings here that they are marked in the orchestra that you might consider doing along with them. So look at bar the 42. 41 into 42. Sorry, dear. Oh, no. And now I've tripped and killed the soprano. Go, Goerke.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Those kind of things, especially since you like to lean into dissonant. Yeah, exactly.
lean.
So it's just the kind of thing that we can, especially when there's not much going on, we can really lean into things like that. Do you want to give that a try?
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
So do you just want to start right on that a little bit? Yes. Okay.
Cool. Yes, please. Going into the next bit of this.
Yes.
Chel, it's always the heaven's fault.
It is.
When you're going through here, first of all, this is clean as it can be. It's fantastic. Don't forget that you still have direction of line with any kind of dynamics, no matter whether it's quick moving words or not. So do make sure over all of this, and use your text beautifully the way you did, keep the line over the whole thing. All you have to do is think that it's moving forward. So see if we can do that one more time from Chel and move through and give me the line over the top of the whole thing.
Okay.
Soccorri, soccorri, obedisane, soccorri, c'è mio figlio fa che regni, voi nuove secondate. Soccorri, 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 c'è, soccorri, obedisane, il mio figlio fa che regni, e voi nuove secondate. E secondate,
Gorgeous. I heard all of the legato. That's fantastic.
Yay.
Question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
C'è il soccorri.
Mm-hmm.
C'è il soccorri or c'è il soccorri? Girl, show it to me then.
Yes, ma'am. I can do that.
I believe you.
Soccorri, soccorri, obedisane, soccorri, c'è mio figlio fa che regni, e voi nuove secondate. Soccorri, 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 c'è, soccorri, obedisane, il mio figlio fa che regni, e voi nuove secondate. E secondate,
Oh, thank you so much. Now I see you, Agrippina. Question for the very end of this. I don't want to mess with it because what you're doing is so elegant and beautiful. But question about what feeling happens at the end of this. Is this suddenly about concern that it won't actually happen? What is that sort of elegance at the end?
The way that I interpreted it, and I may not have shown it as much in my face or body as I had originally hoped, is that after I sort of give myself this pep talk of, this is what happened, this is what I've done, this is who is going to potentially unseat all of my happy plans, and then I call upon my clever skills of being the cunning woman that I am to come and help me in this moment of need. So I felt the way that I was portraying it, we've not started staging yet, so I'm not sure what our director is wanting to do, but I took it as me being haunted again by the potential of being murdered for my actions and not getting to see any of this to fruition.
I'm
And
totally
then-
here for that. It actually was clear. I
Okay,
just wanted to
okay.
hear it. I saw what you were doing. I
Yeah.
just wanted to hear exactly what was going on. And I want to say something about what you just said.
Okay.
No matter what the director has to say to you, please come in on the first date with an idea of exactly what you want to do. We can always change, but if you have an idea, you have someplace to go.
Very true. Thank you.
So bravo you.
Christine, we're pretty
Yes.
much, we're kind of really close to wrapping up. If you have
No,
something
that's
you gotta do.
good. Okay, may I ask a favor? Because I'll go
Sure.
for like an hour and a half.
That's
Can
fine.
someone give me like 2 minutes?
Sure. Sorry,
It's okay. No,
I will.
it's my fault. I should have asked ahead of time because I'll spend 4 hours on handle.
Christine. I'll text you. Okay.
Okay, call me. All right.
All right. I'll
fine.
call you.
All right, you call me and we'll
All right,
do the
girl.
thing.
All right.
Fine.
We'll go
All
to
right,
hang out.
fine.
Bye.
Okay, bye. But I'm still taking another minute and a half because it's how I do. What do you think of that? Fine. So let's quickly talk through this recit, which was absolutely fantastic. And I just encourage you to take time where you would like to take time. With recits, and I mean, God knows, I don't know what you guys have cut and what you have not. Agrippina talks a lot. But if you have something that you want to move through quickly, you are doing that beautifully. If you have something you'd like to take time and say, do that. Do not be afraid of silence in a recit. It's all about you. So take your time where you would like to take it. Can we just finish the very end of this from 76 forward? It's the very last bit of the pensieri where you started at the bottom of the staff, which made me want to throw money at you. That was fantastic.
Oh, wow.
But tell me quickly, what is your thinking at the very end of this?
So I have the thought return of, oh gosh, I can't believe it. But then when I hear the echo of my thought in the piano, I think, shake it off, sister.
Fine. So
We're
show me
better
the
than
confidence
this.
in the sound and in the core of your sound and stay on it.
Yes, ma'am.
This is short, guys. We'll get through it.
Tormenta
That's what I'm talking about. This is fantastic. I assume you're doing this role.
Yes, ma'am.
Have
Miss
fun.
Ring.
She's fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you so
Bravo,
much.
orchestra. That's fantastic. Thank you both so much. And I'm really sorry I
Thank
went
you.
over, but I'm not really.
That's fine. Christine, I need to introduce Dr. Jeremy Rieger, who's one of our fabulous collaborative artists here at CU, and he'll be playing. So he is obviously the fabulous orchestra.
Well, he obviously is. And I thank you so much.
So we're going to do about maybe a little bit of 5 minutes, just a little chat, so that we can let the aerosol clear a little bit in between. So everybody, I think, can hang. And if you don't mind to be a little late, we don't mind if we're a little late.
I super don't.
So, so I know everybody, one of the big dying questions everybody wants to hear.
I'm a Gemini. Oh, was that not it?
I'm a size 8 and I wear.
I wish I was. I came out of the womb as a size 8.
I know, and I want to know about how much fun was it to do that production in the car at Detroit Opera?
Oh my God. So first of all, I mean, when they started talking to me about this, you know, I mean, look, it's COVID times. They were like, would you like a job? And I said, sure. I was like, they're like, no, it's kind of crazy. And I went, sure. And then they started telling me about it. And I was so excited that anyone at that moment was nervy enough to try to plan something live. And I said, sure. So little by little, the details sort of started coming out. And they're like, we're going to do this in a parking garage. And I was like, cool. Parking garages have awesome acoustics, as we know. And then, you know, it became little by little, we started finding out, right, we're going to do this. We need a really good orchestrator, and we need somebody to be able to create a new small orchestration. And I was like, I got your guy. So I called my friend Ed, and I said, you up for something crazy? And he said, always. And then he wrote a, you know, orchestration for Hagen and Albrecht on bass clarinet, accordion, and electric guitar. It was so cool. But I tell you, it was really emotional. After 6-7 months already, and I know that people were behind their car windows, but, you know, they would drive in sort of 10 at a time and park. And, you know, we would just have at it. And because the car windows were up and they were listening on the radio, I could just sort of wander around and I could be 2 feet from them. And people were crying. They were holding their children's and they were cheering and holding up signs. And I mean, it was everything I could do not to cry half of the time. I know we miss it, but you don't know how much until you get to do it again. And so it was a gift. And also, Ford Mustang convertible is never a mistake.
Do we have any questions from our wonderful gallery of students watching? I know we must have a question. Yes, ma'am, Kyrie.
Hi, Christine.
Hey, lady.
I just want to say thank you for doing this masterclass. I'm super excited to get to learn from you more today. One of my questions I've been wanting to ask you is when you're watching competitions or doing masterclasses like this, what are the main things that you look for right off the bat?
Right. That's really a hard thing, to be honest with you, because I'm starting to sort of sit on the other side of the desk for auditions and for competitions, and there is no one thing. What I can tell you is it is not about standing there and making the most beautiful noises that you possibly can and not making any mistakes. That would be lovely. I mean, I've never done it, to stand there and not make any mistakes, but that's not what we do. What we do is get up and show that we are the whole package, that we understand our text, that we are connected to a character, that we have our technique solid. And sometimes we go someplace with drama that makes our voice not 100% what we want it to be. And that's okay, because we want to see everything. So what I'm going to encourage everybody to take on board, student, young professional, old professional, it doesn't make a difference. You are there because you are an artist. And the level of artistry changes, fine, but you are always an artist. You wouldn't be where you are if you are not an artist. So please trust the artist part of you. That's what people want to see.
Thank you so
That's
much.
that's so wonderful, Christine, because as it becomes so technical and everything has to be perfect, and you
Well,
will
that's the
run it.
job, right? I mean, we do
Yeah,
that. We have to learn that right now.
I
And this
know.
is the time to drive it in, but don't forget the rest of it.
And it is hard, and I know you and I can both speak to this, that you go in and you do things that aren't necessarily perfect, but you did a kick-ass job, and you still have judges or panels who are like, oh, she didn't sing that high D. And you
Yep.
really, I think you'll agree with me, you really kind of got to put that in your little box and close it and say, you know what, I'll deal with that later, because as long as I know what I did was worthwhile, it's great.
And I'm going to tell you
So
something else. It won't make a difference because you could be insert famous singer here, your favorite person here. How many times have you gotten into the arguments with the internet trolls about how that person is the worst singer on the planet?
I know.
Curious, like all
I
the
love,
time.
I love though how you take them on. It's great.
Yeah, I have no patience for that
No
nonsense.
prisoners. Well, especially when it's like we all want to be like, really? Have you stood up on stage and sung this? I don't
I
think you have.
mean, have a seat. Take two, they're small. I mean, y'all just like what you like. You get to. I'm cool. Some people love what I do and some people don't. And that's live art. That's what's cool about what we do. And that's fine. And everybody here, there are going to be people who think that you are the best thing since sliced bread. And then there are going to be people who wonder how you're having a career.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly.
You do
Exactly.
your thing. Let your soul fly. Let your freak flag fly. Do all the things. And that's what God gave you. And that's what you need to put out there. And don't worry about
Exactly.
everybody because you can't.
Exactly. Moving along. This is Miss Kaiser Herman, or Herman,
Hiya.
as we love to call her.
Hello.
She's going to be singing some Clemens Aditito for
Yes.
us. So you may unmask and you may take your headphones off this first time, because I don't think you want to sing with the headphones on, and have fun.
Thank you.
it! Triplets! Wow!
Ah, thanks.
Girl! Yes! Okay, first of all, we'll get to how the beauty of the sound and all of that. You are like serious confidence and like rock solid. And your stance through all of this is so much a part of what is coming out of your face. It is fantastic.
Thank you.
Brava to you. And
Thanks.
all of the orchestra back that way with all of the triplets. I mean, if you don't have tendonitis, God bless. So, first of all, how much do we love Sesto? This poor dude. He's a mess, but with the best heart in all of opera, right? So,
Yeah.
tell me how you're feeling about. Well, we're in a scene now where basically Vitalia is trying to like walk away from the whole thing, and he's in love with her, right? So, what are you feeling about this right now, in this moment when you start?
Oh, so at the beginning, so previous to that, her recit, she's basically saying that like he's not man enough to go through with it, and also like she's like, I used to love Tito, and I could go back to him in a second. So he's like absolutely reached the point of desperation. And so it's kind of like, fine, I'll do it. I'm going to go. Like, I am man enough to do this. For you. So yeah.
But I mean, is he?
No, but that first statement, he thinks he is.
That's it. That is the
Yeah.
crux of this whole thing, right? And I have
Yeah.
to say, you're using so many beautiful colors and you are completely showing that he's going back and forth. But that's the game. So in the beginning of this, that false confidence, whatever it happens to be, make sure that it's not just in your stance. It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be anything, but make it as solid as it can possibly be. Don't let even one note go by without vibrating on it. Not one in the beginning of this.
Gotcha.
So make sure that it is clear, 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 clear. And one thing that sometimes I noticed a few times as you went through, you are so determined to like place every single note. Don't hang out on the last syllables of these things occasionally.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Also, me. Fine. So can we just start right at the beginning?
Yeah.
Parto, parto,
Oh, sorry, good?
It's okay. It's okay. I froze for a second. I was trying to do a thing, and then all of a sudden I was like, well, that's not helpful. Sorry, because internet. So do me a favor. Do something weird backwards. Can you start from and go from and go backwards?
Okay.
Yeah, just once.
Okay.
Thank you. Now start there. Parto. Cool. Okay, so first of all, it was beautiful the first time. But the thing is, you were like trying to place, I don't know about for you. Like I have weird passaggio that wears like contralto land. So for me, like B flat is kryptonite. I hate it. And B flat on an open vowel, really hate it.
Yeah.
So when I find stuff like that, I find what's nearby it that feels comfortable, that's open, and work my way backwards.
Okay.
That's what we just did. And then when you started again, you were in the same place and you had the roundness at the bottom. Does that make sense? I'm frozen again.
It's all right.
Yeah,
It makes
sorry.
sense. Yeah.
Cool. So if that is the case, let's do that. And one other thing, coming out of mio. I'm assuming everybody's younger than I am here, so let's throw out some tricks. If you're coming down from ma tu ben mio, Kyrie knows this because we've worked together. And so I love me a sneaky umlaut. I will put an umlaut in any language that will hold still. So basically, umlauts, they're one vowel inside of another, right? The other thing that we can accomplish with one vowel inside of another is legato. I'm a fan of that too. So if you are thinking about mio, if you think that you stay in the place for the me and you simply move on the inside to the o, you'll get more focus on the bottom and you won't have to work for it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Give it a try.
From
Just ma tu bambino, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
a lot better.
Cool. Now tell me something. Am I stepping on teacher toes?
No.
Awesome.
don't believe
Does it
so.
feel over dark?
No, it just feels like I have more backspace.
I'm a fan of the backspace. Cool. That's what I'm after. So the same thing coming in and out of the bottom register, especially when a lot of things start at the bottom of the staff on open vowels. If you think about keeping the focus and the space at the same time coming in and out of these different tesituras, then you don't have to move. Look at the next one. Start from the saro. You don't need me. Fine. That is night and day because your sound now is completely constant all the way through that, which is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I don't want to run out of time. Matthew, I know you're going to tell me. How much time do we have?
You are at 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Actually, no, you have 7 minutes.
Well, I hope so. Fine. Then let's go on.
Sorry, you have 7.
Yes, I hope so. All right. All right, cool. So let's go on. I want to move a little bit because I want to make sure that I get to the quick bit of things. So this is all the same sort of thing all the way through things. Fine. So let's go to the Allegro at 44 if we could.
Yeah.
So if you look, I'm sorry, wait 1 second. So if you look, your very first word, guardami. If you have a diphthong, you have an umlaut. Keep them all in the same place. Guardami tutto oblio. Yeah, vendicarti a volo. Everything, like you're talking to the guy in the corner. Everything is in the same place. You don't gotta move nothing. Okay, now we go. Okay. Yes! Number 1, woo-woo! Number 2, make sure that you are doing these gorgeous pianissimo now. You're like pulling away from all of it. The line is gorgeous. The legato is gorgeous. Make sure you stay on your support when you're going for these pianissimi because I don't want to lose any of, I don't want to say the word tension, but you know what I mean? I don't want to lose this that's underneath it. So make sure that you are totally on. Da me si penserà. Make sure that it is feeling like this underneath, even if it's quiet. Okay. Because sometimes it feels a little like, okay, I'm going to sing quiet now. Yeah. Instead of, okay, I'm going to sing quiet now.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Can we just come in someplace around, oh my goodness. How about 57? Just before, questo sguardo solo. Okay, hang on a second, because I am so guarding you right now. Yes, please. Look at you. You're giving me nothing to do. It's amazing. Do me one thing. Now we're going to get differing opinions on this. But as I have strong opinions, I'm going to share it. Don't be afraid to feel like you are moving slightly to a beat before the beat happens. What the heck does that mean? Look at 74. Sarà qual più ti piace.
Yeah.
Right? I'd sing up the octave, but I blow my mic out because I only have $1.50 for a mic. So, but if it is that, do you know what I mean? So instead of going, sarà qual più ti piace, sarà qual più ti piace, quel che vorrai farò. You won't lose the orchestra, I swear. But you drive the bus. Give it a try and see if you can garner yourself a teeny tiny bit of wiggle room to lean in.
3 minutes, please. 3 minutes.
Fine.
That's a little funky.
I'm here for that. Here, take it. Take my money. Go get it. Fine. Not worried about that. Doesn't matter. That's it. Does it feel like you're like 5 bars ahead when you do it?
No.
Cool. I'm frozen again. Making this face.
You're back.
Fine. Great. I'll just make this face occasionally. So listen, that's fantastic. The second Guardami, I wanted to throw a shoe right at you for how beautiful that pianissimo was. Do me a favor, if you're going to do that, the loudest sound that we can make is silence. Make people wait for that. It's too
Okay.
fabulous.
Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah.
Right? So sing your Guardami, and I love that you came right in first. Say Guardami.
Just say it.
No, yeah, exactly. But when almost take a once you get your chord, so you have. I'm so sorry, I'm not you, but I can play a chord. Very nice. Guardami. I'm not gonna try and sing that, but wait that long.
Yeah.
However you'd like to do that one.
Okay.
That was gorgeous. That's it. That's it. Okay, that's amazing. And I have one curl sticking up right for you. Fantastic.
I get the curls with the headphones.
I saw that. I was like, I don't know what she's using, but we'll have that talk later because mine are not having it today. Let's go to the Allegro. Question for you. Was that your tempo?
At the top of. Sorry.
Guardami tutto oblio.
I felt. I'm not really sure. At that part, I just kind of blanked out. My legs started twitching with the tempo. I was like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Because
Go ahead.
no, please go ahead. The reason I'm asking is because I kind of felt like you wanted to have a little bit more stretch in there, and if that is the case, this is a good one. We will always walk into a situation where whether it is a conductor having like a zippy evening, he had too many espressi, or doesn't make a difference, or you get into an audition situation and some amazing pianist is playing for you that doesn't know you. We have to be crazy clear. Oh my God, really?
You're back.
Freezing. You have to be crazy clear about where we can catch the tempo and how we can be clear with our accompanists, right? So if someone like, I don't know, the amazingly talented gentleman behind you started too fast, please start too fast. How are you going to show exactly what you want when you come in for Guardami? Let's find out.
Yeah, I will try. Yeah.
Okay.
Guardami tutto oblio, e avente corto volo, a quel poterlo dei, donaste alla beltà, donaste alla beltà.
A plus to both of you for being too fast and for putting it where you wanted it. Let me ask you a question about the belta.
Yeah.
Are you one of those singers that loves to sing an A vowel, or are you one of those singers who hates to sing an A vowel?
It's funky, especially because it keeps going through so many different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a thing for you. Belta. How close to the E can you get the A?
Okay. Pretty close, I suppose.
That's what I'm saying. Give it a try. Belta. That's it. Give it a try and see if that makes it feel better. Hold on. For the last one, I want you to do something that you can totally throw out the window, but just once, because I never tell people to go, belta. Don't go wide, but go pointy for the ta. Okay. You do not have to stay here. Just see what the difference feels like, because then it becomes an issue of just, I talk about this all the time, playing percentages. How much point do you want to incorporate when you're moving? Does that make things better? Where do you want to take it back out? So try to make it as pointy as you can without messing yourself up. Just once on this last run.
It might be ugly the first
I am cool with ugly. Did anybody think that sounded ugly? I can't see. Does anybody? I'm looking at
We
chat.
need to wrap Kaiser up. I'm sorry.
We're almost at the end of this. We're going to have none of your nonsense. Okay, look, I'm kidding. Here's the deal. So this, if it feels super pointy and it's not quite what you want, that's cool. But did you feel the difference as to how it felt like it was moving?
Yeah, it didn't get held. It didn't get like pulled back at all. Yeah.
Okay, and so this is the game, right? I'm wrapping this up. I'm wrapping it up. It's going to be useful for everybody. Bear with me. So I always think about point, space, front, back, whatever you call these things, right? I think about them because we can't have one without the other, but we can play percentages, right? So we can talk to each other here, or because I'm from Jersey, I always call this one the angry Jersey driver. We can totally lean forward. We can lean forward and still have the point, right? But it's still attached to the back. Mm-hmm. If we go completely in the front, I'm also from Long Island, we get Teresa Caputo. We don't want that. It's too pointy. It goes nowhere. However, if we can also lean back a little bit, and that's okay because it's still attached to the front. Or we go all the way in the back and we are Kermit the Frog, which is a huge mistake. You have from about here to play with. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and play with those things and find out when you're singing legato, what do you need? When it starts moving like wildfire on an open vowel, what do you need? Yeah. This is fantastic. You are a gorgeous sesto. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay. Thank you, Kaisa. So let's see. Does anybody else have some other questions? If not, I can direct a couple of them. Do we have somebody use the raise hand so I can see you if you do? Or just jump in.
Alice.
Hi, I've got a question. I'm Alice. Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you,
I'm like
Alice.
really starstruck right now.
Oh, whatever.
It's silly, but we should acknowledge that it's amazing to get to talk to you. So my question is just, I mean, you've obviously had a long career singing lots of big rep. And I just wanted to, if you had any vocal longevity thoughts, I would be really interested in hearing them.
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, the first thing I will say to you is that if it's for your voice, it's for your voice, right? So somebody who, God gave Queen of the Night to isn't necessarily going to be singing, Isolde. Okay, fine, because turns out my Queen of the Night is a disaster. And yes, I have tried. You don't want to hear it. But it is I found the hard way that trying to stay in repertoire that is too small for your instrument can feel as damaging as going into repertoire that's too big for your instrument. So, how do you find your way? How do you keep the vocal health going? When you get into big rap, if that's where you're headed, I have found that a huge portion of the preparation and a huge portion of practicing has nothing to do with singing. There's so much to know. And for those of you who are always wondering, why in the world do I need to take theory? Why do I need 6 semesters of sight singing? I hate this is stupid. Counterpoint, who cares? Oh, that was also me in junior high and all the way through college. So that's a thing. So the thing is, you don't need parallel parking till you have to parallel park. And I will tell you, all of that theory, all of that sight singing, magically it comes in handy when you now have to look at orchestral scores, because that's what you should be doing. And it doesn't matter if it's big repertoire or not. Know what instruments are working with you. It affects the color. It affects the amount of sound you need to make. It might affect where you have to be on stage. It might affect how much diction you need to spit because there are 16 Wagner tubas coming at you. Or not. Or you can do nothing. Or you can whisper. Or you can, lean into the back because there's not, a huge amount of sound coming your way. That kind of thing. For me, also studying the text, studying the language. And aside from that, the big one that I've learned, don't leave it in the dressing room. Warm up to the point that you are warm. Warm up slowly, warm up carefully, warm up healthily. And once you feel like you're there, try not to test that high C 46 times because it's there and God only gave us so many of them. Does that answer your question?
Christine, I don't know about you, but I always tell my students you need to have about 3 different types of warm up. You need the, oh my God, I'm in the cab, my manager called me. And I have to be there, and you're like putting crap on, and you're like, oh, more money, right? Like, okay, and 10 minutes, and then you've cancel,
anyway, taxes. Yes,
but to know, like you were saying, to warm up, to know a specific warm up for certain occasions, right? When you're going to sing your Met audition, you take more time, right? But you're still not going to leave it somewhere.
Yes, that's right.
But I just think it's important for me, and I was wondering if you do the same thing, that you have different, obviously different warm-ups for different roles.
Well, strangely, I don't. But It is really funny when people hear me. So, by the way, it's not too late ever for you to make a debut. This past year at 51, I finally made a debut at the Wiener Staatsoper. And there's nothing like what. Yahoo! I know, right? It was really cool. I was so excited. But there's nothing like walking in there and saying, here's your debut, go sing Electra. Okay. So I was warming up in the dressing room and I heard, and in comes the conductor, and it's Semyon Bichkov. And he said, are you okay? And I said, yes. Why? And he goes, because I heard Cleopatra. And I said, oh yeah, I always do that. And he goes, you always do that? And I said, yeah, and Constanze. He said, you warm up for Electra with Constanza. And I said, yes. Because if I can do that, then I'm not going to overblow the top of my voice. So, friends, know your instrument. Find what works. And then don't leave it in the dressing room.
Right? We are going to move on to the wonderful baritone, Mr.
Yes.
Namdi. Hello.
Hi.
Namdi Wanquo.
Hiya.
And Namdi, would you just tell her, I know it's in the program, but would you tell everybody, since this song many people might not know, please tell everybody what you're singing and who wrote it.
I am singing Song for the Lonely by William Grant Still, words by his wife, Verna Arvey. It's just a wonderful piece of post-Harlem Renaissance music that I'm just in love with.
Me too.
Wonderful. Let's go ahead.
Raindrops soft from the mist disturb the stillness of my thoughts. Raindrops soft from the mist beat down. No bird note breaks the all-pervading hush. No ray of moonlight cuts the darkness. No footstep comes along the gravel pathway, nor the sound of a stone displaced. Soft raindrops, fresh from the mist, they bring again the breath of the present. Soft raindrops, fresh from the mist, they bring again the long-lost dream. Raindrops, unending, they fall into my soul, into my heart, and mingle with my tears.
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Thank you.
So beautiful. And I mean, it's not just this piece. Oh God, with the freezing. Sorry, hang on a second. I look really good there. There we are, back. It's not just this piece, and it's not just the fact that these two were collaborators for their entire lives, in their music, in everything that they did. This is so beautifully written, and it's so simple. When something is this simple, it gives us incredible leeway to lean into the text, right? And you are doing this. Your hush was tasty. I mean, so tasty. I was like,
Thank you.
yes, hush. Yes. So if that's the case, please go further, right? So I applaud you right off the bat, because anytime I see a piano, sometimes I see people go, it's not about that. Dynamics, think of them like colors instead of turning the knob on the volume, right? This was beautiful that the dynamic that you started out was absolutely gorgeous. Think about, there's sort of a sneaky hidden alliteration through here, right? You caught the hush one. Raindrops soft from the mist.
Yeah.
There's so much of this the stillness of my thoughts. There's a lot of, right? And I mean, like, I see the mist in that sound.
Yeah. Almost like rain.
Exactly, right? So don't be afraid to really lean into those. And you have a lilt to this already. Don't be afraid to continue with it. Think of it like every other art song that you have ever done. It's the text that carries it. So let's see if we can start this one more time and let the raindrops be the things that are continually falling underneath you.
Okay.
But don't you fall into the pattern of the raindrops falling. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool.
Raindrops, soft from the mist, disturb the stillness of my thoughts. Raindrops, soft from the mist, beat down.
Hang on. I'm sorry, it's a pain in the butt back and forth with the earphones. That's gorgeous. And I can hear you using the text in a different way. Don't be afraid. And I know that there's a lot of 2 against 3, and we don't want to lose any of that. But within the triplets, within the duplets, don't be afraid to lean into a piece of them to be able to accent a word.
Okay.
Right? Raindrops, is it the mist that you're going for? Is it soft? What is the word that you want to make a meal of in there?
Soft.
Fine. So do it soft from the mist. You can still do a triplet and not have it be, you know what I mean? Just let's start one more from the beginning.
Okay. Raindrops, soft from the mist, disturb the stillness of my thoughts. Raindrops, soft from the mist, beat down.
That's gorgeous. That is fantastic. Don't lose the support when you come onto that color, but please just do exactly that. That's fantastic. Let's go hurry slightly.
Okay.
Who leads? No, when we get to that bar, we're coming right up on it now. So with the voice, obviously. Hurry slightly, and then all of a sudden there's nothing underneath it. And I mean, I don't want to use something as pedantic as saying it's kind of like recit here. But in a way, you get to drive this forward or not.
Right.
So hurry slightly, fine. But with what? Evenly? With what's going on? Are you leading towards hush? Show me really that you are going to move that in that direction from this. Can we just get the bar before the hurry slightly, please?
Okay. No bird note breaks the all-pervading hush. No ray of moonlight cuts the darkness.
Okay, now hang on one second, because you're going to go up and sing this G sharp, and I'm going to throw money at you because it was amazing. Now, look at the difference. You have hurry slightly, and then you have in tempo, right? So how do you show that they're different? And then you have hurry slightly again. So we need to have something different for no ray of moonlight, right?
Right.
Give me something that is absolutely showing that it is not the same, that marking is there.
Okay.
And one last question for you. I don't see a dynamic marking there, right? So you're going to the hush. Do you want to sing hush big and then use the SH to sort of make the decrescendo on the consonant? Or do you want to get on it and hush it right off the bat?
I want to hush it right from the start.
That's cool. So give me a little bit more at the very beginning of that phrase. This way it sounds like it's even bigger.
No bird note breaks the all-pervading hush. No ray of moonlight cuts the darkness. No footstep comes along the gravel pathway, nor the sound of a stone displaced.
Okay, that G sharp is everything, friend. That is fantastic.
Thank you.
May I say, if you have a G sharp that sounds like that, if you were a soprano and you saw a hold and you didn't hold it, they'd take your card away. If you sound like that, do me a favor. I see where that crescendo is marked. Don't make the crescendo finish until you are all the way done with way. Right? Get up on it. Get up to the top of that. Listen, I know it's like a Q flat for you. So whatever it has to feel like to make sure you're on your support, as comfortably as you can sing it in a place that you have some place to grow. Get onto that G sharp. And then hang on to it if it feels good. And if it doesn't, then act. Can we start no footsteps?
Yeah. No footstep comes along the gravel pathway, nor the sound of a stone displaced.
That was ridiculous.
Thank you.
Please do that. And then Do me one more favor. You see the breath mark afterwards?
Yes.
Where's your hurry? You sing a note like that, let it ring in the house till it is gone. Oh, are you still here? By the way, also nor the sound of a stone displaced. Thanks for coming. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I would totally do that. Take the silence after something that big to let it impact. Do you have one more of those in you, or am I gonna like make your throat come apart?
One more.
I know, I believe you. Okay, then do it.
No footstep comes along the gravel pathway, nor sound of a stone displaced. Soft raindrops, fresh from the mist, dull the pain of loneliness. Soft raindrops, soft from the mist, beat down.
Gorgeous. I'm going to stop for 1 second. I have a question for you.
Mhm.
I know the answer is yes, because we've all found one of these. You ever find yourself out in the weather at some point because you're missing somebody, you're miserable about something that's happened, just there's a gnawing, and it's just, you don't even know why you're walking around in the rain?
Mhm.
Yeah, I've done it an embarrassing amount of times. Think of that. It's almost like, I mean, I find if I do this, it feels like there's something clean about it. There's it's an easy breath with the moisture in the air, and it also, it sort of cements the gloom in a way. And sometimes we need to do that.
Mhm.
So when you get into here, soft raindrops fresh from the mist, dull the pain of loneliness. Sometimes dulling the pain is a pleasurable thing because we desperately need to not feel it.
Yeah.
So you get to decide what that is in this phrase, but make this one something different. Can we just go just before soft raindrops fresh from the mist, dull the pain of loneliness?
Soft raindrops, fresh from the mist, dull the pain of loneliness. Soft raindrops, fresh from the mist, beat down. Raindrops, unceasing, they bring again the breath of a presence. Raindrops, insistent, they bring again a long-lost dream.
Hang on 1 second. Do you, any Puccini in your life?
Yeah.
Cool. What do you love?
I've come to really love La Boheme.
Me too.
I just sang it a couple months ago, so
You know what? I'm not even going to lie to you. There's a reason everybody likes that one. So I was hoping you would say that actually. You know how you get in the middle of a phrase and you swing on up to the top in Puccini?
Mhm.
Would you swing on up to They Bring Again?
Yeah.
If you arrive there before the third beat, I will not take any money away from you. It's cool because if you get up there, you give yourself a second to vibrate on it and make the sound on your support that you want to. Get up on it in a place, again, where the crescendo goes through it, not arrives on it.
Okay.
Okay? By the way, 25 points for insistent. That has to be like rock solid, and that was. Where's a good place to go? From raindrops there, or?
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Cool.
Raindrops, insistent, they bring again a long-lost unending, they fall into my soul, into my heart, and mingle with my tears.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. The very end of this, I love when I look at something and see like 4 bars on the same note, because that means I get to play with the text and it's delicious. You have some voice consonants here you could lean into my heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And
Three,
mingle.
3.5 minutes, Miss Goerke. 3.5.
Fine, thank you so much. And mingle, right? With
Yes.
my tears. All of these M's, I would totally spend the time on them. There's nothing else happening, right? You want to just give that a try?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. They fall into my soul, into my heart, and mingle with my tears.
I'm all done. Wow. I know these things seem like they're like little pedantic things, but when something is so beautiful and so simple as this song is, any song that you see that seems simplistic, that's where we have to do all the work. Because it's not simplistic. That just means the composer and the poet have trusted us to tell the story. And that's what you're doing. It's fierce. Is there anything that you want to ask about in this? Nope.
Not particularly, no.
You're like, I'm good, thanks. I would like to say I have more to say to you on this one. I just don't. It's fantastic, and I'm not that person who like talks about stuff for no reason.
Thank you.
I thank you so much. This is stunning. Thank you for doing this today.
Thanks,
so much.
Namdi. Thank you. So, my dear lady, wasn't that beautiful? I know, I love that song.
Stunning. I mean, do y'all know about this couple? Was she was she a Romanian Jew? I can't remember. And they wrote together their whole lives. She was a brilliant concert pianist herself. I'm kind of just fascinated with the two of them. I mean, you know, 2 musicians living together already successfully is kind of amazing, right?
Right.
But these two, they like did all of it, which was amazing.
Uh-huh. You know, Christine, some of our people with larger voices, I know when you and I were at Wolf Trap, you were singing this snot out of Mitradi and, you know, and Donna Elvira, and then we did Iphigenie at City Opera, and things were, I remember things were transitioning and people were telling you one thing and another. You mentioned it a little bit, but, you know, can you talk just a little bit about, you know, how that time in your life just affected you?
Yeah, you mean the transitioning of it all?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it
'cause
was a
I
hot
remember
mess.
everything kind of like all of a sudden it was like, yes, this is what I should be doing. Because I kind of felt everybody was trying to shoehorn you into something else, and you were kind of like, ugh.
Well, in a way they were, and in a way they were trying to keep me safe. Now,
Yeah.
the keeping you safe of it all, this is a treacherous path to tread here, but I'll do it because whatever.
Treacherous.
So, like I said earlier, I mean, it is just as dangerous for me. When I first started singing, I first thought I wanted to sing. Of course, I put in like, I found a, I'm so old, I have VCR tapes. Oh my gosh. But
You and me
I
both.
was 3 and it was a VCR tape. For those of you who don't know what that is, see me afterwards. I'll explain what a VCR is. But I had a recording that a friend gave me of Magic Flute from City Opera, and Rachel Rosales was singing Queen of the Night, and Faith Esham was singing Pamina. I mean, fierce cast. And I was like, well, I want to do what Rachel Rosales does, so I'll just keep trying. Well, I'm here to tell you it never worked, because that is in fact not what God gave me. Really wish it was, though. I'd be rich right now. But that's cool. I admire it. I like it. And in the beginning, like, coloratura was my jam. And in fact, Agrippina was the last Handel role, things in sort of that Fach that I got to do. And I remembered coming off stage at Santa Fe, and, you know, it finished and I was waiting for bows, and I knew it was the last one. And I stood there and I sobbed like I was losing my best friend, because I knew that was going to be the end of Handel for me. Well, it turns out it's not. You better watch out, Metzels. I got a Messiah coming up. What? Sorry. But this is the thing. Things don't go away. They change. These two rubber bands, they're attached to your body, which changes every day. And one of the things that I had to sort of come to terms with is that from the time I was 24 years old, people were starting to throw around the term dramatic soprano. And I was very lucky, because I wasn't one at 24. And people heard things happening, but I wasn't one at 24. And I was incredibly lucky because I did have coloratura, and I did love Mozart, and I did love Handel, and I could sing all of that stuff. But it wasn't where I was going to stay. And when people started throwing that terminology around, I immediately started reading up on big voices. Cool. So, you know, I read sort of late 30s, early 40s, big change. You move into other repertoire. Okay. Well, that started happening around 32. And I had no idea what the hell was happening. And I just figured I broke it, which is the dumbest thing I have ever thought in my entire life, because you don't magically break it. But I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And that happened really publicly. I was singing the title role in Alcina at the opening of the season for New York City Opera. And it wasn't a total disaster, but it wasn't what I could do. And it should have been a walk in the park for me. And I was so upset, I thought, I'm going to quit. I didn't want to be a singer. I wanted to be a band teacher. I was a clarinetist. I got the overbite and everything. And I thought, you know what? This was a gift, and I'm not going to be embarrassed. I would like to feel really good about the amazing things I've accomplished. And maybe it's just time for me to have the rest of my life now. So for the first time, I took off the blinders and I was like, hey, let's date. So met some scary people, which see me after, I'll explain. But I also met my husband, who was not into classical music at all. And that was so nice. I get to go home and not hear about it. I leave it at work for 5 minutes. And I said, I think I'm going to quit. And he said, right. Well, if that's what you want to do, that's cool. But I feel like you would miss it, and I know people would miss you, but whatever you feel like you want to do. I was like, well, you're nice, but that reverse psychology nonsense isn't working on me, so I'm out. But it totally worked. So I went and switched teachers, and I remember going in for the first lesson, and I was so tied up in knots that I couldn't get through 3 pages of Zueignung. I was so scared. I didn't know what was wrong. What was wrong is that my voice just started growing so fast that you will all understand why I thought this might work, and I'm here to tell you it doesn't. Little by little, I started coming off of my support to try and keep it small. That doesn't work. Pro tip, don't do it. But I thought that perhaps I could keep it slim and keep my coloratura moving, and I had come off of my support. It took 2 months for me to reattach to my support, and all of a sudden, it was 3 times the size. Okay, now I have to make some changes. And then it was bigger and bigger and bigger. And it just turns out my voice changed when the book said it wouldn't. So allow me to put this out there. Nobody's voice changes at the same time. Everybody's voice changes. You will go into different repertoire. And may I get on my soapbox and say, can we throw out that stupid Fachbuch right now and we just sing what we sing? Can we do that? Because I've been in 3 of them my entire life. And I think I'm about to take on a 4th. Play with everything. Try on everything for size. And if the dress or the suit doesn't fit, put it back on the rack. That's cool. It's fine to do that. But try everything on to find out where you live. Because how do you know until you do it? And the last thing, trust your team. You'll need a team from the day you open your mouth until the day you decide you're not going to do this anymore. God unfortunately put our ears behind our faces. So we need somebody in front of us to tell us what's actually happening. Because what we hear in our heads, man, if I went by what I heard in my head, I just don't have any idea what people paid me all these years. It sounds horrible in my head. So if it sounds bad to you, you're winning. Hooray!
Thank you.
Sure.
No, I
I'm
just
sure that was
remember-
not useful, but here we are.
It's totally useful. And I still have to say, your Mitradi, I'll never forget. I was literally like, what? When we were doing that show. And just the ability to do all that. Anyway, thank
I
you.
miss
I love you
her.
for being so vulnerable and willing to talk about it. And we're going to move into our last singer. This is Miss Erin Hodgson.
Hiya!
And she's going to be singing Embroidery for us.
Yes.
Up here. In childhood was a luxury of idleness, a coil of silk and thread, giving dreams whose meaning we avoid. My hand remembered its old skill. These stitches tell a curious tale. I remember I was brooding on the fantasies of children, and dreamt that dream my wishing I could bring some
Ooh, I want to get it off of me. Wowie. Okay, so first of all, that was fabulous.
Thank you.
Second of all, I'm going to tell you, Grimes is my desert island opera. And don't tell all the Wagner people that it's not a Wagner opera, because I'll get thrown right out of the club. This is my favorite opera of
Isn't it
ever.
fantastic?
Ever. And
Yeah.
Ellen,
She's amazing.
she's amazing, but God bless her, she's a hot mess.
She's a disaster.
Oh, she's such a disaster. Really good music, though, but a disaster. All right, so here's the thing. You sing this really, really well, and it's hard as hell. So here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Does she take responsibility for what's happened in this? Or is the we at the end, is she still thinking that it was everybody?
No, I think she's finally taken responsibility. I think this is on her. It's in her soul now, because she's for so long defended this man and loved him, and now she's really realized that she. I mean, I can't imagine the guilt that you would feel. So I think it's absolutely, she's taking complete. I think it's a complete breakdown of who she is.
I think that's absolutely right. But I think that it doesn't happen until the very end,
Okay.
right when you had it happen.
Okay.
So I think that I hate when people do stuff like this, but the first time I did this role with orchestra, this was an audition aria for me. This is a great audition aria. It shows tons of stuff. People will hear everything in this one, right? But the first time all of a sudden you're on the floor holding this sweater in your hand, I broke down and started crying for like 20 minutes. We had to stop the rehearsal. I was mortified.
Right.
I want you to consider this, and I know how hard this is to do in front of a bunch of people. Consider being that vulnerable, that you're going to be not worried about technical things right now.
Okay.
Let me ask you one other question about this. How long have you been doing this one?
About a year, maybe a little less than a year.
Cool. I'm going to ask you a question, and this is a crappy question for me to ask, but I'm going to ask it. And I'm going to preface it with, this is not happening.
Yeah.
Were you ever concerned about making sure that the pitch is high enough?
Oh, absolutely.
Perfect. Stop doing that, because you are just on the high end of the pitch now.
Okay, great.
I promise you, you are, I just want to tell you, recognize it, because, oh, look, me too. So don't worry about that. Rather than thinking high on the pitch, think boom into the floor with your support. It will give you what you need. You don't have to worry about it.
Gotcha.
Okay? So, right away in the beginning of this, if you think about, she's talking about this, right? And I mean, it couldn't be any more literal, right? I mean, he literally is embroidering the line.
Right.
So, think about what she says right at the beginning. It was a childhood thing. When I was a kid, I loved to do this. Mm-hmm. And I just dreamed about all kinds of things. And it was wonderful.
Yeah.
So get the lightness in the beginning of this. So it's like when you start really loud so that the soft part sounds softer. Mm-hmm. Give us the light at the beginning so that the desolation at the end is twice as bad.
Okay.
Okay? Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. A coil of silken thread.
What was that?
A coil of silken thread.
Sorry, guys.
Don't apologize. Who cares? Cool. That's exactly where you want to start that. And it's a thing. Now I'm going to ask you, you have really long breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask you to do something that's going to seem totally bananas, but I have a feeling you might really love it. And if you hate it, friends, this is on me. Think about a coil of silk and thread, tank up.
Yeah.
Giving dreams of a sea. And then just go.
Okay.
See what it does, because when you make that connection, feel your support like rock solid go into the floor, but get up there and vibrate on that A. Give yourself a second to do it. The bigger the voice, the more time, the millisecond it takes for us to speak.
Okay.
Okay, can we just go from just before a coil of silk and thread?
Okay. What? Okay.
Hang on, what do we think of that?
Good.
How'd you like that?
Yeah, yeah. The end was a little scary, but good. I enjoyed it.
Well, bravo you for covering it, because it didn't seem scary to me. The thing is, when you got to the end of that, by doing that, you had no choice but to go right into the floor with your support, right?
Yeah.
You also had a second to let that A fly.
Yeah.
Give yourself that second. It was like we were talking about before. Let the beat happen underneath you. The beat is happening, but you're doing all of this underneath it, right?
Yeah.
You're all over the place. You just weave the line through. And before you sing, of a silk and satin life, if you come in a second late for that, that's fine. You're a good musician. We know, so you'll catch up.
Right.
Don't apologize for a breath, ever.
Okay.
Because then you'll stack and you won't get what you need, and then why take one?
Right.
Cool. Let's go on. And do me a favor, you start in a place where the now, if this messes with what your pianissimo floaty thing does on the top, then tell me to shut up.
Okay.
Do me a favor, when you start on the bottom for the now, try to leave the same amount of space when you go up. I'm not telling you not to put the brightness in as you go up into the passaggio, because I would never say that.
Right.
But think about keeping the length at the same time. Okay? Just the bar of satin life. Cool. Can we do it one more time? Now, do keep the length, but don't think about leaning back. So when I think about length, right, we were talking about keeping both at the same time. So don't change what you did before. Now, do that on the inside. 100%. Just don't go wide when you do it.
Got it.
I talk about this sometimes. Think of, you've gone to the dentist and there's a new kid there and he accidentally gave you like 4 shots of Novocaine. Super sorry, but oh my God, now stop. Try one more time from now.
Okay.
That's so gorgeous. I'm sorry to stop you. It's so beautiful. Okay, here's two things I want to say. First of all, right at the bottom of the staff. I'm so rude and I'm totally going to ask this. May I ask how old you are?
30.
Oh, girl. You're 5. That's adorable. Okay, cool. So here's the thing. Voices never grow for any of us. They're never conveniently here and then they go, cool. They usually go like, all right, oh my gosh. Or they go, yeah. Ah! Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, right? And so at the bottom of the staff trying to sing ah vowels, who wants to do that? Nobody, except Joan Cross, apparently. So thanks thanks, Joan. But if we're here, think about, remember I was talking about throwing an umlaut in every language that will hold still?
Yeah.
Guess what? Try this. I remember. Just try it, see what it feels like. You're going to feel like you look stupid, and I'm here for it. Just see what it feels like. I remember.
I remember.
Cool. See what it feels like when you sing it. Hold. One more thing. First of all, what does that feel like?
Good, just different.
Okay. To me, feel free to, like, I don't know if you're recording. Have a look, have a listen. If it's useful, great. If it's not, out the window. By the way, that's what we do with everything. Friends know that. If you walk out with 2 things that are useful, you have had a good coaching. So there's that. Fantasies is what we say on Long Island. But we're not on Long Island. We're not in Suffolk, Long Island. We're in Suffolk, England, right? So would you be kind enough to give me a bit of Julie Andrews? That'd be fantastic. On the fantasies of children.
Yes.
Because if you sing ah, then all of a sudden this will feel different.
Okay.
Okay? Give me I Was Brooding.
I was brooding on the fantasies of children.
One more time.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's so, listen, I know what it's like to have something so ingrained and you're like, "Ba-ga-ga-ga."
Yeah.
Just think on the fantasies. Literally picture Julie Andrews wearing curtains on a mountaintop. Enjoy. Wherever you want to start.
Yeah. I was brooding on the fantasies of children, and dreamt that only by wishing I could bring some
Hang on a second. Your B flat makes me giggle. It's fabulous. Giggling for me is the best compliment ever because I can't help it. Okay, so do me a favor. First of all, like, amazing. You're like applying all of this length all the way through. If this messes with you, if you're willing to give it a try, I am totally here to take responsibility for it. Think of the space. Keep that on that B flat. Do not change a thing.
Yeah.
Give yourself a shot of Novocaine. Just see what it feels like. If it's the wrong thing, I will own up to this. It is. But give it a shot. And when you do it, don't be afraid to keep the brightness. But girl, into the floor with your support.
Okay.
Hold it, please. How'd that feel? Please say good.
Much better.
That was fierce.
It felt
Okay, and
there
if that's
was
the case,
it
go
felt
ahead.
There was no top on it. It felt like I had more to go.
Oh, really? That's fascinating. You totally do.
Right.
So do me a favor. You
3
get up
minutes,
on a
Miss
B flat.
Goerke, 3 minutes.
I'm so sorry, I'm not listening to you. So if you get on a B flat like that and you don't hang on to it for a second, taking your soprano card away, I'll come and find it and I'll rip it up.
Okay.
Do it one more time because they're waiting for you to come down to Broy. They can't even put the next chord down till you get there.
Right.
Ellen, give me one more.
Oh
Nah. Girl, holy moly. May I suggest? I don't want to say anything else after that. It was fabulous. The very last one of these, I agree with you that the second time she says it, she can't finish it. Every time she tries to do it, she can't say it. This is my fault.
Yeah.
I did this. All I wanted was children. All I've wanted my entire life was to protect children, and I did this.
Yeah.
How does she live with herself? He gets to go out, and I mean, this is the great conundrum of this piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
She says, Peter, we failed, but have they failed? Is he is rough, but I mean, what's happened to these boys? How much is too much? What has gone on? Has it been fate? Is it something that's circumstantial? But for her, this is the moment that she decides it's her fault.
Okay.
So go ahead and do what you do the second time, but for the last time, can you be as numb as you can be?
Yes.
And as precise as you can be, and you can take 2 seconds of stretch into the end, whose meaning we avoid. You can take that 1 second into the downbeat of that, but make that one after, oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm going to say this now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't take the color or the beauty out of it. Just make it precise.
Okay.
Where should we start that?
Just the second one would be fine.
That would be great.
What?
Also,
Yeah, the interrupted one.
I just want to also tell you something that I completely admire that you're doing. You are using the N to place the note. I don't know if it's a conscious choice, but bravo you. Go ahead and do it because it's working beautifully and it's really expressive.
Okay.
You even hit it with the D. Go get it. That's fabulous. Make sure that when you come into that place that it is precise, but on your support, like rock solid, like all of the others.
Yeah.
This is fabulous. Do you want to do any of this again?
If you want to hear it.
Girl, I'll listen to it for 6 hours. But do you have any questions about it that we didn't hit?
No, it feels really good. This
Sounds really good.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And the good doctor, bravo. Thank you so much.
Yes, let's hear
Absolutely
it for Dr.
stunning.
Rieger.
Thank you.
Woo! Oh my goodness, Christine, thank you so much. How much fun. I'm so glad you got to hear some of our students, and we're so thrilled, and we'll have to have you in person
I
when
would
all
love
this crap
that.
is over.
Oh my God, I'm
And
so done with this.
it's just, I know we all are, but it's just so fun to see you and talk. And Miss DeYoung says hello from up the road, you know, because she lives out here.
No, send her
So-
some love, would you?
I will. Thank you again to everybody who sang today, just for the department allowing us to do it. And again, for you being so gracious and willing to share you and what you do with us.
Such a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Well, it means the world to, I know to me, and I'm almost positive it does to everybody. It gives everybody such a good shot in the arm to know that we're all still here and we're all making music and making art.
And maybe we all get a shot in the arm soon.
Exactly. You already got one.
I did. Listen, I've already had people calling me going, do you know somebody in New Jersey? No, I'm not that cool. The kind of things like we have singers, we're supposed to be like indestructible, right? So we don't let folks know what goes on with us.
Right.
But I really thought about this and I thought, I know that some people are still really afraid of this. And I thought, I will field questions and I will tell some folks some personal information just to, even if I get 10 people to be not afraid to do this.
Yeah.
And I have a little heart condition that I've had my entire life, which is like a non-thing, but could be a real thing with this.
Yeah.
So I was on a high risk list and I lucked out. So I can tell you that it's no worse than the flu shot. And for me, and I'll tell you, I had Moderna, very nice. So when you get it literally, it's just like a flu shot. I had a sore arm. I was tired. I had a headache. I took Tylenol and got on with my life. So may you all have Tylenol and a headache very soon. And please stay safe and stay healthy, you guys. We're going to get through this very, very soon. Light at the end of the tunnel.
Thank you so much. And we'll talk soon, my dear. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Have a great night, everybody. Thank you all so much. All of the people who participated today. I'm really grateful.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.